Do you know the difference between participation in development and participatory development? Participation in development means that before you go to the community to talk to them about any project, maybe you insist like we are always doing, maybe you're going to talk about to improve the capacity of the youth or to demand for electoral reform. Maybe you want to improve youth understanding and voting system. So participation in development means that even before you go to that community, you had already designed what the outcome may be. You are just going to the community to sit down with the community, pretend you're doing something like a focus group discussion, or you're doing something like, what do they call it now? Town hall. But even before you go to that community, you already know what the outcome is. The community people are just coming to sit with you and talk, but they will never influence the outcome of that development. You already designed this project. You are just going to meet them as part of activity implementation. That is participation in development. But participatory development means that even before you design this proposal, you had gone to sit with the community to say, what do we do? The community people are actually the ones that will tell you what to do. So you take decision. It becomes participatory decision making. But beyond compliance, you need to understand the idea of bringing this money is that you want social transformation and social change, which is why if I ask you, all the money that we put in most of the intervention project, has anything changed? Has anything changed? Like, or let me put it this way. The money we spend intervention, development intervention, is it commiserable to the change we've seen on ground? No, it's not. Huh? It is not good. That's the problem. Because we design a project excluding the people. You speak for the community rather than speaking with the community. In short, in participating learning and action, in a deeper development intervention conversation, in participating learning and action, your role here is even to provide capacity to the community. Your role is to hand over the baton, be behind, and provide what they call it now, provide the support. And that's why the moment the grant finishes, if you go back to that community, nothing is happening because they were not part and parcel of that project design. They were not part and parcel of that project implementation. There was no, and let me remember this word before I forget. You, as a development professional, you do not call them participant beneficiaries. You need to call them co-creators. They are not beneficiaries. They are co-creators. Do you understand me? They are co-creators. When I walked into CISLAC, we are still going to be talking about it. When I walked into CISLAC last week, I was here for the launch, well, last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks. When I looked at what you put on your wall, huh? I just looked at it and smiled. You know why I smiled? You replaced co-creation with brainstorming. If you don't look at that thing you people put there now, but we are going to talk about it. I have a slide for you. You replaced your co-creation with brainstorming. What are you brainstorming? So what you do here is co-creation. And in that thing you did, if you look at it, I think that there was somewhere they hate communication somewhere. No, communication is supposed to be at the center of that design. Communication is the tree that is carrying everything. Every other thing you're talking about must come from participatory communication. I'm also going to be teaching you people Because all again, NGOs think that by the time you report challenges, you have failed. No, sometimes funders also want to see your challenge. If you say I have done project like 2 projects on climate change communication, at the end of the day, we failed flat. And I came back and I told the donor that our money we spent on climate change communication didn't make anything because we failed. And this was why we failed. And they want to see when you fail, what did you learn? What did you strategize? Because it's not only about the impact and outcome. We want to see learning. We want to see what led to that impact. So there's nothing wrong if you say you fail, if you say you encounter, because also that also build trust. So I'm going to be teaching this one on when we get to what do they call it, communication for fundraising. But the truth of the matter, therefore, is that I do not have answers to all of that. All of you are interested in this newsletter. But I remember that I told you that I did it even before it came. You know, as far back as 2013 or that, I was editor of this newsletter. So what I'm saying, now that you guys are very interested, what I'm saying is that, you see, your newsletter is not just information dissemination. It's not a notice board. It's not just information dissemination. In this training, if time permits, I'll be teaching you people common noise in development. Everybody's making noise. If you go to, and that's why if you go to social media today, there is no communication going on. There's no serious communication or conversation going on about Nigeria. All what is happening is noise. So we need to come out from the common noise in development. If you pick any newsletter, most of the newsletter, they will tell you activities from beginning to the end. If I come to CISLAC today, for instance, and they say you'll be so busy from January to December, I say, fantastic, go and write 2-pager impact story. You may struggle. I'm not saying for instance, you may struggle. Now, what you need to do, first and foremost, is what you need to do as a development person, when you sit down to write proposal, think from the lens of the impact. Start thinking from the lens of the impact. You must not think from the lens of activities. Your activities must define your impact must define your activities and also tally to your budget. Do you understand me? So what I'm saying, I know that CISLAC is doing a fantastic job. So in short, CISLAC is one of the top 5 NGOs in Nigeria today. Do you understand me? But what I'm saying is that if you want to write report, either pay attention more. Even if it is, forget about it must be 20 pages. Because the strength of your write-up is not on the number of pages. It is on the substance. It is on the substance. Have I answered your question?